The project, as we saw it, was an excellent fit for Basil Reid, and it utilises the majority of the group skills, including our project management, temporary works design, logistics, road and civil construction, building operations, blasting, crushing and open cast mining, in fact the full gambit of what Basil Reid offers. The project itself is a design, build and operate contract. It's for a greenfield airport on the island of St Helena, which is a fairly small island. It's about 17 by 10 kilometres, and it's 2,000 kilometres from the African coast, about due west of Luanda, smack in the middle of the South Atlantic, with no harbour and obviously no airport, limited infrastructure and limitation on the skills which are available, all of which is added up to the unique challenge that the project is. I think, however, for Basil Reid, over the 60 years of operation, we've accepted many challenges. I think we're very, very pleased to win this contract. It's the largest single investment ever made on the island of St Helena, and it's the largest single contract funded by the United Kingdom's Department for International Development. The project, which is about £250 million or 3.5 billion rand, depending when you do the currency exchange, it was signed with the St Helena government in London in November 2011, and it's funded by the UK's Department for International Development as St Helena's British Overseas Territory. The works for the project include the design and the construction of 14 kilometres of access road. We've got a bulk fuel installation for 6 million litres of fuels. We're drilling, blasting, placing 8 million cubic metres of blasted rock in a 100 metre high fill. That's the largest single construction component. We've got a 2,000 metre concrete runway, which gives an effective landing length of about 1,550 metres. Terminal buildings, air traffic control tower and fire facilities. We're also responsible for the design, construction and installation of the airport ground lighting, the navigational aids and air traffic control equipment, and finally all the airport operating equipment, which will be the tugs, the stairs, the fire engines, etc. As there was no major construction plant or materials available in St Helena, apart from rock and water, and the rock's kind of questionable, the logistics were and still are the key to the project. In order to start the works, we had to source our own ship, which is the NP Glory Floor from Thailand. It's an 80-metre long ocean-going landing craft type vessel, which we modified in Thailand to carry 1 million litres of fuel below decks. And we also installed a crane which we purchased from China, a 40-ton derrick crane which is fitted onto the deck of the ship to allow us to handle the 80 or so containers that we're going to be carrying on each voyage at peak. The staff and goods and initial small plant, they were sent to the island in the RMS St Helena, which is the regular ship. It takes about 5 days to reach the island from Cape Town. We also created a forwarding facility and a bonded yard in Walvis Bay. That's where we consolidate our materials and plant from all around the world for onward shipping to the island. Once we were on the island, we had to construct obviously our offices and stores and workshops. In addition to that, a temporary fuel facility for 1.5 million litres of fuel. We had to build a haul road to get to the site, which, just out of interest, climbs about 350 metres in the first few kilometres. And we had to construct an accommodation camp for around 100 personnel. I think we expect by the end of the contract that we will have shipped around 22 million litres of fuel, 5,000 tonnes of explosives, 27,000 tonnes of cement, over 120 items of heavy machinery, plus about another 20,000 tonnes or so of assorted materials. We've completed 11 voyages so far, and voyage 11 is getting ready to leave. So far all has gone very well. In April 2012, construction works on the temporary jetty in Rupert's Bay on the island started, and on the 11th of July 2012, our ship was the first to voluntarily touch land on St Helena There's been a few others that didn't do it voluntarily, and they're scattered around the island. But it was quite an historic event. We offloaded all our initial plant and materials, and the whole island basically came out to see the event. Work continued through 2012 with the establishment, facilities, offices and fuel, etc. And work on the airport site itself actually commenced in August 2012, with the first minor blast in November 2012. The first major blast, which was about 70,000 cubic metres, was set off by the Governor, Mark Capes. He's the Queen's representative on St Helena. And on the 4th of February that went off, and that was the start of the 8 million cubic metres that has to go into dry gut, which is really the core of the works. Construction is going ahead according to schedule, and in the main fill, as I mentioned, which is in dry gut, we've got 4 70-ton excavators and about 20 40-ton articulated dump trucks, plus bulldozers and smaller excavators, etc., and compaction equipment that are working both day and night shifts now to place that 8 million cubes. Construction works design is nearing completion, and the airside design of the navigational aids, airport ground lighting and air traffic control equipment, that's progressing well. I think in addition, the other issue is the social interaction and integration with the local Saints community has gone very well, and that was an area we seriously looked at before we embarked on the contract. The on-island complement at the moment totals about 360, of which about 240 odd are Saints, and there's an off-island complement from South Africa and the UK, which will be in the region of about 70 people. That includes management, support services and design. We expect to peak on the island at around about 450 people on the project, which makes us the largest private employer in the island. I think the only other employer that employs more is the government. Risk awareness on the project is absolutely crucial, and both the UK government and Basil Reid run and share comprehensive risk and opportunity registers, and these are vital in identifying and mitigating or avoiding risk and maintaining the project schedule. These registers are updated continually and reviewed in detail each month by both Basil Reid, the St Helena Government and the Department for International Development on a fully transparent basis. We're working very much as a team. We have one goal in mind. We want to make sure the project's finished on time and on budget. We are scheduled to obtain certification and have the airport operational by the end of February 2016 as we stand at the moment, after which we have a contract to staff and operate the airport in conjunction with Lanseria for the further period of about 10 years. Our ability to open up and create a whole new logistics supply chain and get work going on in the island in a relatively short period was recognised by Construction World magazine when we were awarded the Project of the Year award for South African contractors operating outside of South Africa. This was very pleasing for the team and being recognised for all the efforts that have gone into it and the success that we've achieved so far. I think in addition, Basil Reid are extremely proud to be involved in this project. It is very prestigious, it's unique, and it's going to change the lives of the Saints by not only providing them with employment, but also to help them gain new skills. As well, it's going to open up this beautiful and unique island to the rest of the world through the tourism initiatives that are currently being developed on St Helena, which were really an integral part of the process in that the British ministers, in addition to making sure that we can complete the project, had to make sure that the island were going to develop the tourism in order to grow their economy.